This show is proudly brought to you by the #Me Network. Access granted.
Kia ora, and thanks so much for tuning in to episode 26 of Access Granted, our weekly Kiwi tech and media podcast. I'm Mike, and my background is information wrangling, connecting people and getting things done.
And I'm Raj. My background's in design, media and technology, and you're here because you're a Kiwi that either works in or has a great passion for tech and media in New Zealand.
Episode 26 is a bit different than normal. This is where we had our Christmas do end-of-year wrap-up with a whole bunch of our previous interviewees. So you're about to hear our two questions that we asked them all, which was...
what still makes you happy?
And how's 2014 been for you? Of course, we recorded this in Studio 2, which is Golding's free dive. It was a bit busy that night.
Yeah, Studio 2 gets busy later on in the evening, so it got a bit louder.
Yeah, so good luck with the with the interviews. There's some awesome people in there, and we'll see you on the other side.
So, Luke, we're here at our Access Granted, what are we calling this? Christmas. Thank you very much for being on our show. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very, very much. Is that what we call it? Yeah, we'll call it that.
It's thanking the gold and the stars. You called it the gold of the interviews and the interviewees.
The golden
made
moments.
the show.
Yeah.
So
these are the people that helped us do it, basically. Yeah. And so I'm here with Lou first, or second, depends on how I edit this. And so Lou, how's it been going, and what's making you happy these days?
What's making me happy? It's going to be really sappy because it's Christmas nearly and the end of the year. So I'm not going to say anything that's not too heavy, but my family are making me very happy at the moment. The fact that I'm going to be going on holiday very soon and get to have a couple of weeks of downtime, that is very exciting and it makes me very happy.
Nice.
Is that okay?
And what was a highlight for you for 2014?
Oh my goodness.
Not 2015, based on our invite.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
We're not going to skip forward to the future a wee bit?
No, but I'm still working on the time travel machine. Still working on it.
Highlight of 2014.
Yeah.
Oh goodness, it's just been such a joy this year. Developing my business has been amazing, and meeting all the new people that I have, previously didn't know last year, and expanding my network, and it's just the whole year has been amazing. And I know next year I've got some really big things happening, and
that's why we'll be talking to you next year.
Exactly.
We'll be having you back on.
Exactly,
Definitely.
but that's all under embargo until this.
That's right. That's right. Yes. Say no more. Say no more.
Thank you.
Thank you, Luke.
Hi, Raj.
Hello, I'm just hanging out with Victoria here, having a quick, quiet beverage. I say quiet, but it's not really, is it?
We're in a loud pub.
Yeah. So, same question as the others, what's making you happy these days? And what was one of your highlights of 2014?
What has made me really happy in the last couple of weeks is I've met some awesome people that I'd never met before. One of them was a guy called Kevin Bigger, who is on a TV show called First Crossings or Intrepid Journeys, if you've seen it.
Yeah.
I met him a couple of weeks ago, and he talked about this amazing parallels between being a team in an adventure sport, like walking to the South Pole or rowing across the Atlantic, and the parallels that has with being a team in business, and he had some great stories to tell. I really enjoyed meeting him.
It's so dangerous when he does that.
I know, and I said to him, I was such a girl, and I said, I saw you on telly yesterday, and he said, which episode? And I told him, he said, I've still got the scars on my legs, that episode. But he just such a motivational, inspiring guy. I love meeting him. That was awesome.
Oh,
yeah,
that's really cool.
It's made me really happy. And his best piece of advice as a business owner was never do anything to bring down the energy of your team. And I thought, I've always known that on some level, but actually hearing someone say it, it's changed my mindset.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So it was cool.
Yeah.
And my highlight for 2014, my big highlight for 2014 was, so my company Optimal BI, we started building our cloud-based BI platform, and my highlight for 2014 was our first bit of revenue on our cloud-based offering. That was awesome. Actual money.
Finally getting there. That's
Actual
awesome.
money,
Yeah.
So turning our R&D efforts into income, and it was a tiny bit of revenue. It was like $2,000 or something, but it was the best.
But it means
feeling.
it's doing something, right?
And it's
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
snowballed from there.
That's great.
It's just been amazing. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So that was
And I
my
want to thank you
highlight.
again for helping us out and being on our podcast this year.
That's
It's
right.
been great.
It was the first one.
Well,
I think
yeah,
you've
the first.
you've perfected it since then.
Yeah, the audio quality, barring today, has been a lot better. And our organisational skills are still a bit iffy, though.
Right. Well,
We'll
maybe.
get there. Thanks, Victoria.
No worries.
See, we're just hanging out here at Access Granted HQ at the moment, which is Goldings.
A nice loud Golding.
Yes, Mike has his name etched into the table, so it's basically Studio 2. And I'm here with Owen and John O. And Owen, the first thing I was going to ask you is what's making you happy at the moment?
My kids.
Yes.
That's my simple answer. So it's coming up to Christmas, so they're getting quite excited.
Oh, cool.
So I have a 2 and a 4-year-old. So I've got one. This will be the last Christmas before she's at school. So a lot of peer pressure.
Yes.
Apart from that, I'm very happy because Hoist is going into Alpha today. So we've actually done a release 2 people that other people do use. So it's kind of a milestone in startup histories.
Yeah. Oh, no wonder you're having the beverage. The other question I was going to ask was, what was the highlight of 2014 that you may have just told me?
No, 2014 has been a up and down year, let's put it that way. There's been moments that have been fantastic and other moments that have been less so. Finding out or pivoting your company after 12 months is always a hard decision to make. That happened that happened this year, so that was probably my low light, let's put it that way. My highlight probably just has been, I'm trying to think of the actual moment. It's not really a moment, but 2014 has been the year that I found resilience in terms of my family, my team, the company that I work for. We've had to fight through quite a lot of dogged moments, and we've kept going, so I'm kind of pretty
Totally
pleased.
winning now.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like we're winning, and we're on the up and up.
Yeah.
We're on the start of the incline. It's a marathon. So maybe finishing the Auckland Marathon, that was a pretty good highlight.
Right.
Yeah.
That's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
From my point of view. That's,
I'm never doing a marathon
how would you
again.
even do that?
I'm never ever doing a marathon again. But
It's a good to know, right?
I did it in just over 5 hours. 5 hours, 10 minutes.
It's about 16
I
hours.
did have to walk a little bit, I will admit.
How long was the recovery? How many days?
I'm not yet recovered, so I had a couple of days where I couldn't walk really.
Oh, no way.
I mean, I walked to work and I walked home, but it was painful.
It wasn't fun at all.
No. But I'm glad I've done it. I can say I've run a marathon. Anybody ask me, I've put that tick.
So then
I'm
if
not
someone
eager
said,
to do
hey,
it.
I'm thinking about running a marathon, what would you say?
You're a bit insane. Have you got some time? Because it takes a lot of time to train, and I didn't have time. And good on you. It's a good milestone.
Insurance, maybe?
And I mean, to be honest, I've only been running for 2 years, maybe. Like before that, I couldn't run 500 meters. So I'm pretty happy with that.
That's all right. Yeah. You saw you running along the corporate challenge before. So that was cool. Good to see.
Yeah, running's my only fitness. I don't enjoy it, but the fact that you can just put on your shoes and go, you don't have to book a court or get somebody else to play or pay for a gym membership.
That's a good point. Yeah.
I can just go for a run.
Yeah.
So that's why I do it. I have a very good friend who's a very, very good runner, Hugh Crosweller. He's like in the top league in Wellington or something. So he trains me quite nicely, and he pushes me to go for more runs than I want to. So that's cool.
You need someone to push you a little bit, otherwise you'll just go home.
Yeah,
Come
definitely.
over and go. Yeah.
I do that anyway.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I swear at him a lot when we're running. It's alright, it's nice to have somebody to swear to.
No, yeah.
But yeah, that's my year. That's my year in a nutshell. We've got some ups and downs.
Yeah. Well, I want to catch up with you again in 2015 and see how the journey goes.
Cool.
What's the next step after this?
Yeah, I'll be eager to share, hopefully. Well, even if, I'll be eager to share no matter what. Let's put it
Yeah,
that way.
of course. Thanks, Owen. I
Hey,
appreciate
nice
your
one.
time and thank you so much for helping out on the podcast now.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate that. So, now I'm here with John O'Tucker.
Yes.
We interviewed you a while ago.
Yes.
A filmmaker, photographer, and other things. So what's making you happy these days? Since the last time we spoke.
Right. Unlike Owen, who talked a lot about his family, I'm just going to say that we built our biggest month ever last month.
Yeah?
And not having that pressure when you have that invoices coming through is really satisfying. And it means you can concentrate on other things. When you have that, so and we're going to have another bumper month, and it's a sign of good things to come.
It's just looking up.
Yeah. And it gives you, it's amazing the confidence that gives you, I find. You can just go out and start approaching things. So that's making me happy right now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So tell me one of the highlights of 2014 for you and what you've been up to.
Well, two little highlights. The first one was that my biggest client took me over to China, and we spent 10 days in China. We visited Beijing and Shanghai and Hong Kong, and we got to see China, and I filmed my way around, and it was a fantastic place. Like, learned a lot and made some awesome contacts, and just saw, China's never been on my travel roadmap, and it was just fantastic.
Yeah.
And maybe a world of opportunity, but maybe just a cool experience. But I'm glad I went, and that can only lead to good things. And another highlight is that we pitched for a huge government tender for us for New Zealand Fire Service, and we put a lot of effort into the doc. We had it all designed up and bound. We looked $1 million. We got shortlisted and we presented, and we're currently waiting to hear back on their decision. And just even if I don't get it to date, I'm happy. Like, we put so much effort into this magnificently bound graphically designed document that it just looked legit. And I'm just and just the process, and we've got all those assets now. So if we fail, it's okay, and we learn a lot. I'd love to win the work. So that'd be.
You've got a lot of the assets you need for next time.
Totally. It was a really valuable experience for us to go through and really see if we could raise our bar. Like we've won work with less effort, so we just we threw the kitchen sink at this. And a lot of people said, don't do it. Don't. It's just a government tender. Just put in the bare minimum because
see, that's what everyone else would have done. The bare minimum, right?
That's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm banking.
Stand out.
Yeah, that's what I'm banking. So we went hell for leather and we're awaiting the decision. So in 2 weeks from now, I might even be happier. But if not, it's okay.
That's your Christmas bonus right there.
Totally. That's it. Next year, that sets us up for only good things. So
that's awesome, mate. I want to appreciate, thank you, and appreciate your time coming on our podcast. We're still starting up as well,
That's right.
It was good to get your insights on what you've been up to, because there's a lot of other people out there that listen that are sort of similar boats, and want to know certain things. It's kind of cool to have different perspectives,
Absolutely.
So it's really good. So you've brought another different part or flavour to our podcast, which I appreciate.
Thanks for the opportunity, Raj.
So now Raj is back on the dial and he's working the system.
Mike, leave it alone.
Yeah, don't touch any shiny things.
No.
I'm the shiny things guy.
No.
You're not the shiny things guy.
That's very true.
Yeah. So now we're here with Laura Eitel, and we've interviewed Laura early on, right? On one of the original first weeks. Yeah?
Fourth or fifth interview?
Yeah. So when we were still trying to figure out how we do this.
I think it was actually the second or third.
Yeah, so Victoria's first. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Maybe it was actually after Victoria.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So maybe we should ask her a follow-up question later about how do you reckon we've progressed so far? Well, right now, don't answer that. Right now, I just want to know what makes you happy at the moment. And currently, what's making you happy?
Craft beer. Logging into an app called Untapped.
Checking in her beer.
Checking in my beer. Making entrepreneurs go to places, actually earning revenue, building businesses, not just startups, shiny
Sounds like you're
startups.
ridiculously busy.
Yeah, but it's good busy.
Yeah?
Yeah,
That's cool.
that is cool.
And so, what was the big highlight for you for this year? Since we've spoken, what's been happening? And what's the big highlight?
I made my very first angel investment this year.
Sorry, I thought you were about to say, I made my first $1 million this year, and I bought an island and you can come. Okay, no, that's okay.
Not yet, not yet. I'll
talk
get
next
those.
year.
Yeah, exactly.
So you made your first angel investment?
Yes.
Are you allowed to talk about it, or just yay you and that's it?
No, I am.
Right.
It's small investments, but kind of eat your own dog food. So I've been working with startups for years now, and it only makes sense for me to really support the teams that I really love working with. Really believe in what they're doing, really believe in the team. So through Lighting Lab. So they're one of their companies in Lighting Lab 2014.
That's really cool.
Yep.
So what are you going to do the rest of the time next year? Lighting Lab, the other bits and pieces?
Well, Lighting Lab is going national now, so I think there's bigger things to be achieved in the 2015. Hopefully,
You're so vague about everything.
I can't really talk about that in more detail.
I just want to know what's happening. I want some gossip. What's going on this year? And can I invest as well, or is it worth it? Or
You can totally invest. There's going to be Lighting Lab in Auckland, and I'm very sure that there's going to be some excellent companies going through that program this year. We're doing a lot more grassroots approaches. So we're running Venture Up, which is a youth accelerator for 16 to 21-year-olds.
Pretty cool.
Kids that come out of Young Enterprise Scheme in high school. And then we're also running some programs with universities. So hopefully that will grow more entrepreneurs for New Zealand for the next few years.
I like the idea of starting out a bit earlier.
Yeah.
Instead of waiting until they're 20 or established or got a job somewhere. That these guys, you guys and girls, have these ideas early on. There's no way to nurture it, right?
Absolutely, and just give them confidence mostly as individuals.
That's very cool.
Yeah, that's kind of the aim. But I think we can hopeful that we can also push through some innovative things on higher levels.
Oh yeah. You've been vague again.
I know.
I want the detail. What's going on?
Can't really yet talk about it.
Okay.
But
So that's fine because we will get you back on and we'll talk about it
absolutely.
when the time is right.
Exactly.
That's awesome. Thanks a lot. I appreciate your support of our podcast too. Because Mike and I are complete Muppets and we're just giving it a go. And you really helped us out in the early days, giving us content.
Muppets who do awesome podcasts and help the community with hackathons and all kinds
So
of
that's the
things.
plan, right? To grow that community.
Absolutely.
Thanks a lot for your time and I appreciate your input.
Thanks.
Okay, so now we're working our way through the room, Mike. We're down, 20 beers each? Yeah. 20 beers in. And now we're catching up with Michelle and DK. We're catching up with these guys and we're going to ask them what makes them happy at the moment. Ladies first.
Science.
That was quick. Okay, DK, how are you going?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
What makes me happy is great questions.
All right, so back to Michelle. Can you elaborate on what makes you happy a little bit?
So
I
being
want to
able
make this
to
podcast a little longer than usual.
being able to share the passion of science and tech and actually make people realize that it's really important in their lives is what I love this year.
That's awesome. Yeah. And back to you, DK. Have you got an answer worthy of a podcast?
What makes me happy is just connecting with wonderful people and wonderful souls, much like we're doing now, just having a laugh and being open and being present.
That's awesome. And
So how was 2014 for you guys? DK?
Yeah, it went well. I'd like to have another one. Thank you.
Another 2014?
No, another 1 year.
Oh, I see.
there is one coming up next year. Apparently.
Oh, it's good. I'll take it.
Apparently they happen every year. They just renew it.
I'll go with that.
We've had a bit of a pattern. Oh, I shouldn't say this before I ask Michelle. How was your 2014?
My 2014 was epic. This year I got to meet Richard Branson and spend a week on his island with him. I got to go to SpaceX and hang out with Elon Musk's sort of space stuff. That was pretty awesome. I can't complain about either of those things, so I'm going to say it's a pretty epic year. Yeah.
So how is Richard? How's he going these days?
It's awesome, yeah. He's so good. So both of his kids have babies coming.
His son Sam, his wife is pregnant, and his daughter is now pregnant. So there's going to be a whole new brood of grandsons taking over the world, which is good.
No, we should really get him on the podcast or something.
We should do.
Yeah. I say that dismissively, by the way. What about the Auckland sciencey thing you've done with Vaughan?
Yeah, so...
Tell us about that.
Okay.
I don't think that many people know or get it, actually.
So Vaughan Roswell and I have set up a charity called OMG Tech, and we are really passionate about educating those who perhaps don't have access to devices such as tablets and laptops to be able to teach them to code and 3D print. We have set up a charity in which we set up workshops on weekends. We bus you in, we feed you good food, and we teach you all about coding, 3D printing, science, exploration, taking things apart, soldering, all of that. So it's been an epic year for that.
And go on then, Ted, come on. It was not bad, was it, buddy? Ted Wellington, come on.
TEDx Wellington was quite good.
It was okay.
It was amazing.
It was nice to get out the house.
You had many people come up?
You know, sorry?
You had many people there?
Yeah,
They sold out in 3 hours.
Sold out in 3
I think
hours.
there was 4 or 5
Everything's there. It was pretty cool.
400,000. 400 people. Next year is going to be a bit bigger. Going to sell out in less time. That's the aim.
We should be there
more
next
people, less time.
Yes,
Love it.
obviously.
Can I just put a shout out to Hashtag Radio? Thank you for making content that us tech nerds actually want to listen to, and stuff that isn't dumbed down. I really appreciate what you've done for us this year, so thank you.
Well, see, that helps. The reason the hashtag is the way it is for people like yourselves who give us that content. So we have to thank you in return for that. Because otherwise it's just Mike and I just jibber-jabbering along, and that's just not cool.
You know what we should do, though, is do more beer. This is the best interview I've ever done with you guys.
So beer, recording device,
and more tech.
and
Tech
more
and
video.
Video in this place.
You do video?
Oh, yeah, we're
We'll look at a video.
Have they seen our faces? They might not want to see that.
Sock puppets.
Can we virtual
Yeah, I love
reality it?
DK's idea with the sock puppets.
Can I create an avatar?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you. Call me.
Enjoy party 2
Will
on
do.
day 3.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
So back in the nice quiet studio after that ruckus. It was a good night, wasn't it?
It was a lot of fun and
Yeah.
a lot of very interesting people and a lot of people who hadn't met each other, which was fantastic, of course. So, that was our very first catch-up of the year. Thanks very much, guys, for sticking with us for the year. We've got two more after this, actually. 2 more podcasts to go for 2014.
Then we go on holiday.
We take a break, and then we're back in January.
And on Twitter, look for me at NZRaj and Mike at Miramar Mike. And you can check out our hashtag goodness on Access Granted podcast, I think it was. Access Granted podcast is our hashtag. And desperate to email us, you can email us on accessgranted at hashtagme.co.nz. And for all the other hashtag goodness, such as updates, news, prizes, much more interesting stuff than just us talking, go to hashtagme.co.nz.
Thanks for your time, and see you next Tuesday with the Kiwi Tech News and interviews for those that make our computers do what they do. Ka kite anō.
hashtagme.co.nz